Welcome back to the level 0-100 series, which is highly inspired by this guy. So last time we left off with an hourly grind strat at 900 to 1200-ish coins an hour. The towers I got so far are Scout, Sniper, Farm, Demon and Soldier. So you may be wondering which of those towers that I recently bought will be the most effective, and it is the Soldier and Farm. These two actually help out a lot, because out of every tower I have, Soldier grants the greatest DPS and Farm just makes the game so much easier to survive in. For the most part with these new towers I use the same Scout and Farm strategy I did from last time for just the early game steps. But around wave 13 to 16, instead of spamming Scouts like I did last time, this time I am spamming Soldiers, using for the most part 8 level 3 farms. But slowly maxing those farms whilst spamming Soldiers to level 3 or max. I do eventually max all my farms, and whenever the placement limit hits you simply sell a farm in place for the Soldier. This actually got me all the way to wave 40, which means my new grinding strat is improved by a lot. Just like last time, you will not win Molten. Soldier spam is just enough. So instead, if I were you, I would start selling all my troops in wave 39 when Molten Titans appears and skip the wave immediately so that you can lose very fast in wave 40 and get 400 coins within less than 20 minutes. This means you get 1200 coins an hour, which is 3 games an hour, assuming you get lucky getting solo matches in the hour. And since this video was taken in May 2022, and the July 4th update came out, this means that using the same strat you can get a way faster time than before by 80 seconds. This means you can get up to 1600 coins an hour, which is 4 games an hour. So I basically kept doing this for a few games until I bought my next tower, the Ace Pilot, and this is one of the first good towers I have bought. Good in the sense it is very used even when you are a level 400, cause its high DPS and usefulness. For you this is like getting an accelerator, since an Ace Pilot is 200 DPS, which is half of Excel's DPS in a way. And using the Ace Pilot will make your run not RNG based, meaning you do not have to worry about the abnormal boss spam on wave 16 and so on, because you will be able to get 2 level 4 aces or a max ace or both by wave 16. On top of that, using the Ace Pilot and replacing it with the Sniper actually lets you win solo Molten mode, which gives you 500 coins. The problem, however, is that you are still missing a few good towers that can make you defeat Molten boss very quickly, so that it is actually worth beating Molten boss, which will allow your hourly rate to increase. Like in this game I did solo Molten, but it took 21 minutes and a majority of that time was because of Molten boss. That boss battle took me 4 minutes. And if I were to just try and grind using this strategy anyways, the grind strat would be decreased to around 1500 coins an hour rather than 1600 even. If you count the July 1st update, you are still getting a slow time and a bad grinding strategy, and I highly do not recommend using any solo Molten grind strat that makes you beat the Molten boss unless you defeat him within a minute or 2. And beating him within a minute or 2 either requires the accelerator or requires a good low-level loadout that usually involves the infamous Commander and DJ support towers, which by the way, are among the next few towers I will be trying to get. I first get the Commander, which is 3500 coins in the shop, which using the current and second grind strat should take about 3 hours to get and 9 games. You should definitely get the Commander next, because Commander is a very good tower, and you will definitely use it from now on without question. Once you buy it like I do, you should replace the Demon or Scout for the Commander, and as for the grind strat, which will be updated once more, this time you should be start placing Commanders sometime before a wave 16. Now let me tell you this. The commander has an ability called Call to Arms which increases all towers to rarity by a total of 55% every time this buff is used. The ability lasts for 20 seconds with a cooldown for 30 seconds, meaning at some point during the game you must have at least 3 LVL2 commanders so that the buff remains. You can also check out the video in the description called How to Chain Call to Arms, as this is very important, and when you try other challenges like Hardcore mode or Solo Fallen mode. Polluted Wastelands Fallen mode, whenever that comes back, which is soon, you may be the one asked to use the commander and to chain it, as you can easily lose games just by not chaining the commander. And when I say chain, I mean to consistently use commander ability with 3 commanders. Anyways, so yes, as I was saying, the new grind strat is basically to have at least a level 2 commander by wave 16 for emergencies, and then having 3 max commanders before wave 32. Usually I would only max them at wave 36, but a max level commander with Call to Arms is way different from a commander with Call to Arms at level 2. Like I have always seen the towers shredding, or even spawn killing, whenever using a max Call to Arms against a level 2 Call to Arms where it is not as fast. So now my next tower will be the DJ, and by the way, this is among a list of towers I am trying to get which are helpful if you obtain them in this order. Any other tower not on the list means you should not buy it until you just have nothing else to buy, or when the tower may be needed for an event, which is a rare occasion. For example of this would be Hidden Wave, which is removed. It may require the Electro Tower, but the Electro Tower is not on the list. Only unless Hidden Wave is back and you really want to beat it for the fun. Now before I move on to the next grind strat, I actually tried to solo Fallen mode using this loadout, and believe it or not, it can get to wave 39, which gives you 573 coins in less than 17 minutes. Also known as 15 minutes now that it passed the July 4th update, which means at least 17-19 coins an hour. It is a small improvement by 100 coins, and I will admit I would rather grind solo Molten than this because Fallen mode requires you to really think, while in Molten mode it is actually very easy and you do not think at all if you are about to lose, unlike the way it is in Fallen mode. Fallen mode is the tank, boomers, templars, summoner bosses, fallen heroes. All these are a pain, and I think you should actually just keep doing the latest solo Molten strategy I have told you on just now. Anyways, moving on to the next strategy, the DJ booth will be your next tower, as it costs 4,000 coins, which is 3 to 4 hours of grinding using the latest strategy. This DJ, which replaces your last trash tower known as the Scout, is very close to you finishing your very first clean and pro loadout. In fact, this loadout is already quite good, but the next tower we will be trying to get that replaces the soldier will finally mean you have a good worthy pro loadout. Now you may be wondering, what is the new strategy? Well, now you will be trying to get a level 3 DJ by wave 13. After getting 8 level 3 farms, and then you will be start to max the farms until the wave 16, where on wave 16 you max the ace pilot, meaning now instead of the optional choice of having 1 ace or 2 aces, you should really be getting just 1 ace pilot, cause if the ace can defeat mysteries quickly it's better. Then you would max a few more farms before placing a level 2 commander. By wave 20 you begin to use this pattern. Place a level 4 ace pilot. During the intermission in between waves, farm whatever way you can. Repeat this pattern until you finally have max all farms. Then proceed to max DJ booth. And then just do any of the following. Place the other level 2 commanders and chain. Spam max level ace pilots until you reach the placement limit. And remember, no matter what, you will have at least 3 commanders at max before wave 36, or whenever you hit the placement limit for ace pilots. After the ace and commanders, you're basically spamming max soldiers like there is no tomorrow. If you reached the 40 tower placement limit, Be sure to sell farms for the rest of the soldiers. And then you are good to go. Doing this got me 500 coins in 15 minutes, which can now get you 500 coins in way less than that, by hopefully 2 minutes, which means this new grind strategy can get you up to 2000 coins an hour. Now by now you are probably wondering, am I trying to be grinding for XPS or coins? For what I did in the series, I was first trying to get all the needed towers before finally just grinding XP. And fun fact, you should be at least halfway in getting the important towers. For the most part all that is left is Minigunner, Accelerator, Ranger, Medics, and Military Base. The Minigunner because it has very high DPS and will improve the strategy. The Military Base because it is very reliable, but you will only use it for hardcore mode solo grinding XP strategies, and trust me, hardcore gives you a lot of XP that you will be leveling up way faster than before. But hardcore requires you to be a level 50, so sadly we are not there yet. Accelerator is there because it is just such a good tower in general, and why wouldn't you get it, especially if you want to beat hardcore mode. Medic for the sake of hardcore mode. Ranger is also for hardcore mode. As you can see, most of these towers, if not all, are meant for hardcore strategies, as these towers all play an important aspect to the mode. Ranger is meant to defeat lead balloons and are the first good towers you get in the game. Minigunner is also essential to defeat hidden bosses early on in the game. Medics are essential to avoid cleanse the towers of the stuns. Military Base is meant for early game hidden protection and lead defense. And of course, who does not want Excel? Anyways, back to the grinding. I basically kept using the same strategy I mentioned earlier until I got the Minigunner, which costs 5000 coins in the shop. The Minigunner is the second pro tower you will buy. But it is the end of episode 2. As usual, I will recapping every match I did in episode 2. Did a solo Molten mode match and died at wave 40. Died at wave 40 again. Died at wave 17 this time. Defeated wave 30 in normal mode. Won wave 40 Molten. Lost wave 40 Molten. Lost wave 40 Molten again. Won wave 40 Molten. Won wave 40 Molten again. Lost wave 40 Fallen mode. Lost wave 40 Molten again. Won wave 40 Molten again. Lost wave 40 Molten again. Won wave 40 Molten again. Lost wave 30 Fallen mode. Lost wave 31 Fallen mode. Won wave 40 Molten again. Lost at wave 22 Molten mode. Lost at wave 31 Fallen. Won wave 40 Molten again. Lost wave 39 Fallen mode. Won wave 40 Molten again. Lost wave 40 Fallen. Won wave 40 Molten again. Won wave 40 Molten again. Won wave 40 Molten again. Lost at wave 40 Fallen. Won wave 40 Molten again. Won wave 40 Molten again. Lost wave 31 Fallen mode. And finally bought the Minigunner. Thanks for watching and see you next episode.